converted man here. Inside of informal logic, you will find something like a lobster. And the whole book fell apart. How did that happen? I didn't know books could do that. What the? Oh, wait. Inside is actual logic. Premise 1, A equals C. Premise 2, B equals C. Conclusion, A equals C. Hey, that's good logic there. All right. That's going to be it for good logic as far as the video I'm going to be talking about goes. There's no good logic in his video. Lots of bad logic, though. Oh, yeah. Wish he would learn informal logic. That would serve him well. But he doesn't do that. So, yeah. Any rate, gonna watch that video. Gonna talk about it. This is a short response. Here we go. So his video is called the new, and by new we mean old, 100% proof of God, and it's the end of agnosticism. Oh no, not agnosticism. Okay.
Maybe no one even uploaded this video to YouTube. We can never know. It sounds meaningless, doesn't it? The fact that you are watching this video already proves that someone must have uploaded it. So there is no room left for doubt. Just because you can't see the uploader, does that mean he doesn't exist? Or does it mean that we cannot know whether he exists? Of course not. The same goes for the universe.
No, these are different things. Your appeal to analogy fails. Video uploads are made by, well, people and now AI, I suppose. But yeah, and we have evidence that people upload videos, or, well, AI does, but people made the AI to do that. Let's just stick with people for now. So if your analogy held, then people made the universe. But you don't want people to make the universe, even though people make videos and upload them. So your straw manning and appeal to analogy here don't work. Now, I do say straw man because that's not what agnosticism is. He's treating agnosticism in a way that is completely and totally incorrect. But we'll get to that.
Now that it's already created, just like a video, how can anyone say we cannot know if a creator exists or not? It just doesn't make sense either.
Whether something does or does not make sense to you is irrelevant to whether it's true or not. Now, can we know anything about any God or not? So here's where he kind of is trying to swing around to get to the definition of agnostic, but he just can't seem to quite pin it down. So I guess it's time to help him out with some definitions of agnostic. A person who claims that they cannot have true knowledge about the existence of God, but does not deny that God might exist. Okay. All right. Here's another definition, because you need more than just one, just to show that a person who holds the view on any ultimate reality, such as a supreme being, is unknown and probably unknowable. Okay. And whoopsie, no, that's not it. And let's see. All right, there we go. And a person who holds that the answers to the basic question of existence, such as the nature of ultimate cause and whether or not there's a supreme being, are unknown or unknowable. That's a lot different than the sort of way that he's presenting the word agnostic. So because he's getting it wrong, that's a straw man. Anyways.
The existence of a creator isn't just about belief. It's something we have to accept based on evidence, reason, and logic.
Cool. And I'm sure that you're going to have evidence, reason, and logic for a actual deity of God thing, right? We'll see.
Agnostics say we can never know whether God exists. But here is the
no, they don't say we can never know that God exists. They don't. That's a straw man again.
strange part. They are not just watching the video. They are actually in it.
This is a terrible analogy. By the way, that's an appeal to and from analogy, which is also a form of logical fallacy.
Something either exists or it doesn't. We all know there is no in between. So,
well, quantum physics might have something to say about that, but whatever.
when someone says I'm somewhere in the middle, they are actually leaning, maybe without even realizing it, toward
but that's not the position of the agnostic. They're not in the middle. They're being honest. They don't know if it does or doesn't exist. They're not leaning towards anything. This is a mischaracterization of agnostic. Also, I would dare say a mischaracterization of skeptic. Because as a skeptic, I neither believe nor disbelieve in something unless I have, well, empirical evidence, repeatable tests, or sound argument, which we don't have here so far.
towards denial, towards atheism. In logic, this is called the law of excluded middle.
You're not getting this. You're not applying the law of excluded middle correctly in this case.
It means something is either A or not A. Something is either black or not black. There is no third option. In the
Right. And so there's either God or not God. And the agnostic is saying, I don't know if there is or is not a God. And depending on the type of agnostic, they might also include the idea of that this is unknowable or perhaps always unknowable because God is hiding from us.
same way, something either exists or it doesn't. So agnostic philosophy is invalid in basic logic.
Oops.
Maybe no one even uploaded this. God exists isn't like solving some complicated option. In the same way, something either exists or it doesn't. So agnostic philosophy is invalid in basic logic.
No, because you're using the law of excluded middle incorrectly due to your straw man of what agnostic is. They're simply saying, I don't know if there is or isn't a God, and that is also perhaps unknowable. That's not saying that that's saying in regards to whether there is or isn't a color blocker, I don't know. Maybe there's a color blocker, maybe not. Well, there either is or isn't. Yeah, that's true. And I don't know which it is. I'm just being honest. That's not leaning towards that there isn't. That's just saying, I don't know. It's not that difficult. Unless, of course, you're trying to do apologetics. Then it's very difficult because the only way to do apologetics is, well, to do logical fallacies, I suppose.
And also, knowing that God exists isn't like solving some complicated math problem. It's a truth that's built into us, into
Here we go.
both our nature and how we are made. There is an eye-opening study on this by Professor Justin L. Barrett at Oxford University. Barrett and 57 other academics carried out research in 20 different countries. They found that children around the age of 3 naturally believe in a supernatural power.
All right, so I had to do some research for this. He didn't link to this guy anything, so I had to find them on my own. So let's pull up. I have, here's the video. Are children naturally religious? And he's talking about it. This is the video he uses in his video. I've linked it in the description. It's a short video, and what he says in this is children accept the idea that there's a God. Okay, that's nice. And so who is this guy? And so Wikipedia, good enough for me. You're in a BA in psychology and a PhD in experimental psychology. He is a research person, and he wrote a book, and so he's a Christian apparently. So okay, that's interesting. Wait, was that even on screen? Bleep me. Well, whatever. It's linked in the description. And then thankfully, this person did my homework for me, and let's see what this page has to say about this particular study. Studies of children show they possess intuitive ideas that make it easy for them to believe in Christian God or other deities. Okay. And describe superhuman characters to God, but these studies in children already possess the concept of God. And so in being given a notion of God, then they have acquired ideas about God's character. So the fundamental question is, if a person were never exposed to the notion of spirits during childhood, would they develop that idea spontaneously? And the studies do not show that the theistic ideas of children are not artificially introduced by others, but their acceptance by the children once learned is natural, quote unquote, because of innate processes. Okay, so your study is all on children that have already been introduced to the concept of God by the time that they're 3. And oh, shocking, those kids accept the idea of God. Well, how about this? Aliens. Yeah, kids will accept the idea of aliens and Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. That doesn't make it true. Not a very good study. Now, there is a different study called Princess Alice is Watching You. Oh, yeah. And so this also is about God. Well, a different version of God. A belief in the invisible person inhibits cheating. So the children are told that Princess Alice is watching them, and there she is in that chair right over there. You see her? She's watching you. And so what they do is they do 2 groups of kids. They have kids come in and they have them like throw sticky balls onto a dartboard like behind their back or something ridiculous, really hard to do. And if they get it, if they get a good score, they'll get a reward. They're not told what the reward is. Doesn't matter. And like then they're left alone. And the kids cheat. All of them. They all cheat. Because they want the reward. They want whatever it is. They don't know what it is. They just want it. Because it's like, hey, it's a reward. It's good. Okay. So they all cheat. But then the other group of kids is told the same instructions, but they're told about the invisible Princess Alice that's in a chair, and lo and behold, the kids don't cheat. So does that prove that Princess Alice exists? Or does it show us something about how cognitive behavior works in very young children? I think that the conclusion that this is innate is not one that can be reached through the sort of study that this guy did. Also, he says it was other people joined in the study. I don't know if that's true or not, but I doubt it. It's interesting that none of them are cited. And it's also interesting that in his video, nothing is linked to any of this study at all. And now I don't know where the study is either. I have no idea. I don't know. So if you can find it, let me know through Gmail, because YouTube will blow it up if you try to post a comment with a link. But email me the link and I'll put it in the description. But yeah, so this doesn't show us that we are innately born with the idea of God in us. And so a child raised without any God belief, what about them? Not included in the study. So it's a nothing burger. Okay. Anyways.
A creator.
So children at around age 3 actually treat all of the supernatural agents in their cultural context as about the same, even if the adults don't think that they're all very smart. But the young children treated them all as super smart. They know everything. While there is developmental support for the...
Oh, by the way, the video is heavily edited that they're using. That's why I included the original video in my description. Oh, shocking that they edit the video.
The idea that there is this creator God that's super powerful and super knowing and immortal.
Believing in a creator isn't some idea we pick up later in life. It's a natural tendency that's already part of our fitra.
Nope, it's not. That's not what the study can conclude based on the research that it did. This is hardly even a study. I don't think that it should be called a study. I think it should be called what it is, crapola. It's one dude that decided to write a book about some bare bones non-research that he did once. That's not very impressive. So, yeah.
Inborn nature. There is also further research on this topic. Think about it this way. If you were walking on the beach.
Oh, there's further research on this topic. Man, I wish you had all that research linked. You know what is linked? Ways to pay him, other sources that he's on, stuff on Islam, more stuff on Islam, more apps. So not a single damn citation at all. Cool.
And saw a heart in the sand with 2 letters inside. And I love you written under it. You'd probably say someone was making a love confession. What if...
Okay, another appeal to and from analogy. Stuff written in sand is not equivalent to the universe or biological life or the earth that we live on or anything else. So this is the watchmaker argument just told really badly. So that's not evidence of God. I thought we were going to have 100% proof of God. No, just bad arguments. Okay.
If someone came along and said, did someone draw this? Maybe no one wrote it at all.
Well, now writing depends. English, hard to do. But different types of writing, maybe. I mean, there's some writing that's kind of squiggly line looking. So if you saw some squiggly lines in the sand and that happened to align with a language, maybe it was made by the waves or maybe it was and wind, or maybe somebody wrote it. I don't know. It just depends on what you're looking at. And this goes back to my standard arrowhead. If you find a triangle-shaped rock Is it an arrowhead or is it just a triangle-shaped rock? Don't know. You'd need some sort of methodology to deduce which one it is. But isn't it the case that in his system, the sand also is put there by God? So couldn't the message be written by God and not a person? Or by angels or demons or whatever else? How would you know?
How would you react? Would you take him seriously? Or if we found a fork from thousands of years ago in an archaeological dig, we would immediately assume it was made by a conscious, knowledgeable being.
If you found a fork that was thousands of years old, that'd be a pretty amazing find. When were forks invented? When were forks invented? 7th century. So yeah. It'd be kind of weird to find a really old fork. Anyways, I mean, but how do you know that that fork wasn't put there by God? So, you know, but it's put there, it's a person, because we know people make stuff. So people made the universe then. Oh, right, that's not the analogy he wants. All right, anyways,
We wouldn't attribute the creation of a simple fork to nature, physical laws, or chance. We would say there was intent behind it.
well, yeah, but you could be wrong. I mean, what if there was some indentations in a hard rock that happened to form into a vague fork-like shape, and molten lava came and filled it and left behind a hard rock that then looked to you that like a fork? I mean, it's hypothetically possible. Having it be metal, oh, okay, there's more involved in that, but you know, let's just, you know, just say, we're not gonna go there, you know.
Intent naturally points to a conscious mind. But isn't our world, with all its people, systems, and living beings, far more complex than a fork?
I don't know. I guess depends how you look at it. But yeah, this is the, you know, appeal to it looks designed, so it's designed. Yeah, but we understand where life came from for the most part, biological evolution, and then abiogenesis before that. So it's all chemicals that came together and all that. So there's no mystery there. So that's it. Okay, we explained that. And complexity isn't design. It's actually, if anything, it would be bad design. You want to simplify your stuff. You don't want to make it overly complex because then it fails. But all of this doesn't matter because the thing that you're talking about is not evidently something we can observe like we can with people. So your whole analogy falls apart. But I wanted to expose the first part, the first section, as being completely wrong, more than talk about the rest of the video, because once you have that many wrong, you don't really need to listen to the rest, because he's already got a straw man, and he's already got a non-study by psychology guy that, and it's in a book. I don't know where the actual study is because you didn't bother to link it, and I didn't bother to look for it deeper than what things I found about it. So I mean, again, if you can find the link for the actual study, I'll put it in the description. And but yeah, I'm that's it. We're done. There's nothing here. There's no evidence of God. It's not 100% proof of God. It's not 100% anything other than a bad argument. And we know that because he couldn't get what an agnostic is right. He couldn't get the study right. And then he couldn't get his analogies right. But maybe he is right, and Allah is really God. So usually Christians come by my channel and leave little snide remarks or whatever. So I'd love to see them debunk this video, because you'd have to debunk this video, because the God that he's talking about isn't your God. But isn't it interesting how he's using the same argument that you guys can use for different gods? Might be a problem there. All right, well, that's it. Until next time, be skeptical, and after next time, stay skeptical. And biblical typology is good evidence of Christianity. What the bleep is biblical typology? New Testament theology hidden in Old Testament. Oh, you mean you read the Old Testament and pretend that you find New Testament stuff hidden in there. Or actually, since the New Testament was written after the Old Testament, maybe they just borrowed how the Old Testament was written to write the New Testament to match it. Yeah, so then that wouldn't be evidence of anything. But if you really think that a book is evidence of itself, I would encourage you to read The Lobsterist, because that actually is true. And so yeah, that's what I would say about that little statement that was made in chat. That had nothing to do with the video that I'm covering. Isn't that great? I love those comments. I love comments that have nothing to do with the video I'm doing. It's great. It's wonderful. Here's the Lobsterist. Here's the link. You use archaeology to confirm the Bible. Cool. Love to see that. Maybe we can talk live sometime on my channel. Email me, deconvertedman1@gmail.com. I guarantee this guy won't come talk to me live on my channel. At gmail.com. Anyway, so this is this guy, this fusion person. So I don't know. Nothing to do with the video I was talking about. Anyways, all right. Thanks for watching. Well, now I got to talk to you live. That's right. Email me. We'll set up a thing just to prove me wrong that you won't talk to me. All right. Until next time, blah, blah, blah. I already said all this, but now I'm just repeating myself because, I responded to chat. Darn it. Hey, leave a comment on the video. Okay. Now we're done. All right. I put a smiley face after Finn. That's the wrong way to write Finn. I never put a smiley face after it. That's the way to write Finn. Now I'm done. Wait, no, I have more.